All right, we got a big buy-in today. I'm kind of nervous. Here we go. Walking up to the cage now.
Hey, let's go, man. Can I just get one stack of reds? Thank you.
Here we go, min buy-in challenge. We enter the 1-2 game with $100 in our stack. We're down to $80 when we wake up with ace king with a $5 straddle on. I make it 20, the cutoff calls. Flop comes 10-7-3, 2 clubs. We don't make a pair, but I bet small for 15 and immediately am greeted with an all-in from the cutoff. Pot's around 120, and we only have to call off 40 more, so we don't need to win that often. With the ace of clubs and an itch to double up, I just can't resist. I make the call, and let's head to a run out. Turn queen of spades doesn't help, but it brings us a gut shot, and the queen of diamonds on the river leaves us hopeless with ace high. Oh my gosh, this challenge is harder than I thought. I thought I was going to be doubled up at 1-3 in no time, and already we're bust out onto bullet number 2.
We have king queen offsuit in our first hand. We're at 1-2, but there's a $5 straddle on the button. Early position raised to 15 with only 20 big blinds. We're going all in right away.
Alright, so I made a rule for myself. I can't play 1-3 until I've made $200. Right now we are all in. Hopefully we can win.
We get the initial razor to fold, nice. Then it's on the button straddle with ultimate last action.
What do you want to do? I don't have a great hand.
I want to get on the vlog.
I don't have a great
I want to
hands.
get on the vlog.
I don't have a great hands. I'll say you're live.
I'm live?
Yeah.
118?
118.
What's that? Yeah, I'll let him know.
Okay. I'm not going to show you.
First hand for me, we've got pocket deuces in the small blind, 115 in our short stack, 3 people limp, we complete, and the big blind bumps it up to just 15. 2 limpers call and it's back on us. I honestly contemplate jamming. There's $30 in dead money, which is a big percentage of our stack if we get it. The big blind raise looks weak, but it kind of feels a little spazzy to just rip, almost 60 big blinds pre with pocket twos. So we do elect to just call and take a flop, and that flop comes king 7 deuce with 2 clubs. Yes, sir. We check to the aggressor, who continues for $30, folds to me. I think we got one move and one move only with $100 left. We rip it all in. He calls, and we're off to a run out. 260 in the middle. The turn, the ace of spades, the river, 6 of hearts, and he shows pocket 7s. Chips.
Bullet numero dos. We look down at my favorite hand in the game, 9-8 suited. There's 1 limp, a raise to 10, and 3 callers before it's on me in the big blind. Our hand has solid equity against almost any hand, and there's a lot of dead money out there compared to our stack for the taken. You know what comes next? I'm all in for $100. The players see the camera recording, they know we're doing a challenge, and are more than happy to give me action too. The initial razor calls, and then this happens.
Now someone else is deciding. Am I going to get a triple up opportunity? Looks like it.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to quadruple up. I have my favorite hand of all time. I did not want anyone to call here.
Damn, I wish it was all in so I could
Oh, dude. This would be great if I can win this.
4 ways to a flop, and it's as good as I could have hoped. 8-6-2 with a diamond. The players with chips remaining both check, which is a great sign, and the turn's at 3. They check again, which is a great sight to see, and we're 1 safe card away from securing a likely quadruple up, and it comes the queen of diamonds. They check once more, it's time for showdown. The first guy shows ace-6 of hearts, we're in the clear there. The second guy shows ace-3 of clubs, we still have the best hand, until the button flips over the dagger, king-queen offsuit, and he is the victorious one who will be catching this quadruple up. Unfortunate for us.
Next hand, we have the beautiful 8-3 offsuit and a $5 bomb pot. Don't think I've ever put 8-3 offsuit in the vlog. We end up flopping trips on one board with nothing on the other. Someone in early position bets 55, and I'd probably fold if I wasn't so short stack, but I'm happy to go for it all here. I call 55, as does our new friend across the table, and then the wife goes all in for 200. And then the initial raiser goes all in for 500. Well, we stick our last 25 in the middle, and our friend calls 2. Potential for a quadruple up.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be on the vlog for sure! Crazy Asian old man!
The wife shows king jack, first raiser shows pocket kings, and our friend shows ace 3. So we need an 8 or a 6. Here we go.
I want a jack!
Oh.
Jack!
Well, looks like we're on to bullet number 2.
Third time's a charm. We hand the dealer another Benjamin and trade it for 20 red chips. We button straddle for $5 and are dealt pocket 5s. There's one limp, a cutoff raise to 30, and the limper calls. Tricky spot with our stack in our hand. Do we have enough fold equity? I think it's close, and when it's close, I'm going for it here. The limper asks for a count. There's no way he can call, right? Wrong. He calls. The cutoff punishes him by going all in for $300, but the limper is not phased. He snap calls for his stack once again, off to a run out with a triple up opportunity that would put us back in the black. Run out is absolute trash, and we actually end up being in third place behind both Ace King and Queen Jack.
Here we have 6-5 of clubs on the button, bullet number 2. We straddle to $5, 4 people limp, we bump it up to $30, and only the low jack limper calls. So we're off to a flop heads up, which comes Jack Deuce Deuce with 2 clubs. He checks. I know the bluffing challenge was last video, go check that out if you haven't, but we see 75 in the middle, we've got about 80 in our stack, and we flop a flush draw. Let's put him to the test. We rip it all in as a semi-bluff. He goes into the tank and lets it go. We take it down.
This time we got a real hand, pocket jacks in the big blind. The small blind limps to me, I bumped up to $20 and the button makes the call. We're heads up to a flop which comes 8, 6, 4, 2 hearts. I bet 30 and the small blind quickly calls. The turn comes a 2 of diamonds and the button leads out for my last $75. I snap call. We're all in looking for a double. If we win, we get to move up to 1-3. River, ace of hearts. He shows 5 deuce of hearts to crush our dreams. Will we be stuck in the 1-2 dungeon forever? Keep watching to find out.
Alright, I'm a little tilted on my fourth bullet, I cannot lie. We're in the small blind with Jack 7 of spades, there's 4 $5 limpers, and I am once again going for all this dead money. I rip it all in for my $80 stack, expecting this to fold through so often, but what the hell do I even think I know at this point? We get 1 limper and the button both to commit their stacks pre-flop as well. Here we go again, the button shows us an ace. Flop comes dry, and that ace seems to find its way on every damn board because it peels off on the turn. We are drawing dead and also forced to draw back into our pockets for bullet numero 5.
We are determined to get to the 1-3 table. We start building momentum by raising King 9 offsuit on the button, c-bet taking it down. Then we get King 10 offsuit, we raise to 10, get 2 calls, c-bet and take it down. We're only $30 away from our goal now. There's 5 limps to me and I have ace 3 of diamonds in the big blind. I want that $10 from everyone. I raise to 40 and our villain with 5 deuce from the last 10 is our only caller. Flop comes Queen 10 at 3. I don't like this flop. I check to see where he's at and he checks it back. The turn is the 10 and now I'm comfortable betting here, trying to deny his equity. I make it $25 to go and we are stoked to see him fold his hand, which means we officially are over $200 and can move up in stakes.
Easy table, easy table. Easy table, easy table. That's scary? That scared you, right? Look at that baby. Ooh. That's a nice looking stack.
Fifth hand we played and fifth bullet as well. We've got pocket 7s with $85 in our stack. Face a few $5 limps. I shove and get none less than 2 callers.
I think we're gonna get 2 callers. We're gonna need some help.
3-3 deuce seems like a great flop. Turns a 5 and river. There it freaking is again, an ace. Once again, funny enough, we actually end up in third place behind pocket 10s and ace 5 of spades. This is not going well for us. I just lost my 5th buy-in. I keep telling myself not to squeeze with bad hands because I know people will call, but then every time I get a good squeeze spot, I just have to take it, and unfortunately none of them have worked out our way so far. You know what they say, 6 bullets to charm.
Our first hand in 1-3, we look down at King Queen offsuit on the button. Our good friend Gil Jack puts the $10 straddle on, which cripples us to 20 big blinds. There's 1 limp to me. That limper can have trash here, and I want to isolate him, and there's $25 in the middle. So I jam all in, and our buddy Gil in the straddle essentially snap calls us. Uh-oh.
I'll show you. Oh yeah, that's a 40%.
It looks like we're up against Ace Jack offsuit. Still got 40% to win. Can we hit and run up a monster stack?
Four deuce spades gonna win.
That's a. No, you don't.
There you go. 4 deuce spades gonna win.
No, you don't.
Oh no!
Give me to me.
There it is. There it is. There it is. I call.
This guy.
River is no help. Gil makes a good call and scoops it with ace high. On to bullet number 3, which is worth $200 this time.
Finally, a good hand to play. We've got the Cowboys in the big blind. Under the gun raises to 10 and it folds around to me. I look like a maniac, so why not capitalize on it? We go all in for $100 and we catch the call. Here we go. I swear to God, if an ace comes, I might just cry. Oh boy, what a cooler. Finally, we scoop a double up versus ace queen and now have $200 in our stack. Let's keep it rolling.
Here we've got pocket 10s in the small blind, 150 in our stack, 4 people limp, we bump it up to 30, the big blind calls and a limper calls, so we're off to a flop 3 ways out of position, which comes king, queen, deuce with 2 spades. 2 overs to our 10, we're multi-way, we don't c-bet here, we check, but they both check, and the turn is the 10 of spades. We hit a set, the flush draw gets there, 95 in the pot, 120 in our stack, lots and lots of draws. Let's go for it. We rip it all in for the 3rd time in 3 hands, and it goes fold, fold. We take it down.
This hand, we see 9-5 of spades on the button straddle. There's a $15 raise and 2 calls. I defend for 10 more, and we see an incredible flop of 8-7-6 rainbow. We flop a sneaky straight. The initial better bets $45. One guy folds. I decide to play it slow with just a call, and we end up roping the big blind in as well. We need a brick turn card, and we get just the opposite. It's a 10. It checks to me, and we stick to the sneaky plan and check once more. I think we might get looked up light on the river if it checks to us once more and can place a large value bet. River's a king, and it checks to me. I go all in for $84, and this puts the big blind in the blender.
Oh, fuck. Is that a sneaky check on the turn, or did it catch 2 pair with a king? What's the count? 84.
Our sneaky play gets rewarded, and we have $300 in our stack now. Time to make some plays.
We've chipped up to 265 off camera and we look down at ace 4 of spades. The legend, Mr. Regis, puts the $15 straddle on, which means we got about 18 big blinds. I think Mr. Regis will call any min raise, and I don't want to have to play out of position to him, so we decide to jam it all in right here, right now. If everyone folds, we're up to almost $300 in our stack, but our nemesis, Guild Jack Poker in the big blind, is in the tank.
Can't tell you. It wouldn't be poker if I. What did you say yesterday? It wouldn't be poker if I told you.
Nah. There's no point in playing if you do that.
I took it last time.
That was my favorite thing.
Call 265.
He calls us again, and he shows pocket 3s. What a fake flip.
Me with the 3?
You have 4s.
No. King.
No.
King.
Fours.
Oh, you win.
Oh my god.
Well, Gil takes it down again, and we're on to bullet number 4.
We've got $370 in our stack when we play a $5 double board hold'em bomb pot. We have ace 8, and we flop 2 pair on the top board and a straight draw on the bottom. It checks over to an action player on the button who goes all in blind for $70. Yep, this game is great. There's 2 calls. Time to spring the trap and try to steal this one now. I go all in. The first caller doesn't want to give this one up. He thinks for a bit and calls all in for about 125 more. The other guy folds and we head to a run out. On the second board, we turn a miracle straight with the king of diamonds. Let's go. Rivers brick off and we scoop versus the first caller who had jack 10 for 2 pair on the bottom board, and then quarter the other guy who ended up having an ace as well. Our stack is now up to over $600. After a few hours, baby, we are back. We've got about $600 in our stack from our $100 6 bullet. Let's go.
Here we've got ace, queen of diamonds in the big blind. Stack has dwindled to 140. 2 people limp. We bump it up to 25, and just the button limper makes the call. Off to a flop heads up, which comes ace 4-4 rainbow. Yes, sir. Super dry board. We see bet small, $15, and he makes the call. The turn, the 7 of spades. Brings in a backdoor flush draw. Board's a little bit more connected. We've got 100 in our stack. There's 80 in the pot. And I think it's showtime again for the 4th time in 4 hands. We go all in, and he goes into the tank. And he shows 3 deuce of spades as he folds the monster draw. We are still able to make our bets very scary, even as a shorty, and we take this one down.
We're on the button with queen 9 of hearts. There's a raise to 25, and we make the call. So do 2 other players. We're 4 ways to a flop, which comes jack 6-5, 2 hearts. The initial raiser makes it 65. We call with only 115 left in our stack. You know what we need. We're heads up to a turn, which comes the ace of diamonds. He checks. With $80 left in my stack, I don't think I have have much fold equity, I decide to check it back, and if you blink, you'll miss the river action. River comes the 3 of hearts, he jams, I snap call, and we indeed are good with the queen high flush. Can we make a full comeback?
We made it up to $400, but we are in for $1,100, and we have 30 minutes left. Not looking good for the boys.
We've got a stack to play for and wake up with pocket 10s in the cutoff. There's 2 limps for $5, I raised to 40, big blind calls, and then the limper goes all in for $85. I don't expect this to be a super strong hand, and I want to get this one heads up, so I re-raise once more to $250, trying to drive out the big blind. I'm ready for a heads up run out until I see the big blind cut out chips and call. This game is good to say the least. Alright, well, we've got some chips left to play for, and we're looking for a clean flop. 8-6-3 seems like a good one to me. Big blind seems to agree because he lead jams all in for $330. I snap call. Here we go in a massive pot. 10 of diamonds on the turn is a beautiful sight, and I think the 3 on the river giving us a boat is just overkill at this point. I show my cards and the other players give me a nod that I've got them beat, but what the heck did the big blind have? He flips over his cards, and to my surprise, he had 5-4 of spades. Even after the 10 on the turn, he had plenty of outs to scoop us. Luckily, we avoid them, and we're now sitting with over $1,200.
Everyone knows bomb pots either make or break your session. Here's my hand, 10, 8, 8, 6, and here's the 2 boards. We flop the nuts on the top with the nut blockers and bet 25 on the flop, trying to build the pot because we have 1 board locked up. We want a bunch of callers trying to fight for that bottom board. We get 5 calls on the flop. The turns come to 5 and king of hearts. So we no longer have the nuts, but I'm happy to continue betting. I make it $75 to go, and if we get raised, we know someone probably has queen 10 and we can make the fold. We still got money behind. We get 2 calls from 2 players to our right, so we've thinned the field down a little bit, and the river completes the flush on the bottom and puts a queen on the top, making it even less likely someone has queen 10. Nice. The short stack jams for 155. The guy on my right calls. I really hope they both have the bottom board. I'm priced in. Fingers crossed. I call 2. I'm in disgust as the jammer flips over ace 10 for the rivered nut straight. He had to go runner to get there, and right at the end, we're hit with a gut shot on the way out.
Who wants to flip for 250? Let's go. Can we do an Omaha flip real quick?
One at a time? Alright, we're gonna flip one?
Turn face down. I'll do turn face down.
Yeah. Alright, flip one. Alright, are you ready? Flush is the nut.
Oh, I just got a card.
Good. Alright.
Oh, that's a disgusting card.
No, he keeps going. It's made a king. Oh, you're No. You can hit a 7 or a 2.
Oh, no. Just a set of threes.
Yeah, you can hit a 7. And you're drawing dead.
You need a 7.
The last 7 in the deck. Right there.
Of course.
Ew.
With ace queen of clubs on the button straddle, there's a loose open to 20, 2 callers, and then the cutoff min raises to 40. He's done this a few times already, and he seems to be doing this a little too wide. The initial raiser and the other 2 both make the call, and this is a squeeze spot made in heaven. The cutoff has $300 in his stack, and I'm happy to play for it all. I bumped this sucker up to 300 bones. The first lady to make it $20 only had about 150 in her stack, and she immediately shrugs her shoulders and calls it off. The rest of the players fold though, so we're heads up with an extra $120 in the middle. She wants to run it twice. I don't mind either way. Here we go.
I think it was
What,
hard
the
to
one-arm
space.
stripper? You had that, bro? Oh, you got a straight.
Oh, it's fucking coming.
You're good with the king.
Who's it before?
Welp, we get scooped by king 2 of spades. Ouch.
Here we have ace deuce offsuit in the small blind, 180 in our stack, a hand we don't usually play, a position that we hate, so maybe we're about to learn a lesson here. There's a bunch of limps, we complete, and the big blind checks. We're off to a flop, a lot of ways, which comes ace deuce 3, 2 diamonds. Yes, we flop 2 pair here, tons of people in this pot. We lead for over pot, which is just $15. Under the gun +1, min clicks us to 30, and when it folds back to us, it's a draw heavy board. We can get a ton of value right now from any ace, and I can't think of a raise size that I like besides all in for $180. He thinks about it and makes the call. Ladies and gentlemen, the hand of the night, 370 or so in the middle, and the turn the 10 of spades, the river, 3 of spades. We get counterfeit. We show our hand. He waits, looks at his cards, and finally shows Jack 3 of diamonds for rivered trips. I love poker. Poker is fun.
Just like Rosie's villain last hand, we have Jack 3 of our own. On the button straddle, there's a few limps. I check, and we flop 2 pair on Jack 5-3. We end up getting it all in on the turn versus a big blind who's got ace deuce of hearts. He has to run it twice. I say sure. Both rivers brick out, and we stack this dude. Then my buddy across the table starts talking some trash.
What the fuck is doing? He gets the luck box.
Wait, yeah, why am I just a luck box? I don't play good poker.
You drop egg.
Luck box or not, we can conclude one thing: the 6 bullet just hits different. We spun up that 6 bullet, in for 600, out for 1400. If you guys like these challenge videos, make sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you in the next challenge video. Peace!
Into the game for 4 $100 bullets, out for 0 $100 bullets. The view is cool though. Cheers.
Jello smoked me, in for 1100, out for $52. How was I in for 1100 in a min buy-in challenge?